Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome each and every one of you to a new League of Legends video. So today we're going to be taking a look at some teasers and even the abilities also released for Mordekaiser. The rework is finally here. I'm actually really excited because I love Mordekaiser. He was actually one of my mains literally back in season 2 or 3 or something like that. The champion is just so cool. Like, just the theory and like the theme and just everything about the champion is amazing. So we're going to be going over his abilities. We're going to be going over the video that Riot just released, trying to kind of figure out which abilities which and all that stuff as well. And yeah, let's just get this party started. If you guys obviously are excited, don't forget to hit that like button, boys and girls. But yeah, tomorrow he is the PvE server. He should at least. So get ready for some gameplays as well. But let's get into the abilities. So let's start with his passive, Darkness Rise. Mordekaiser's basic attacks deal bonus magic damage. After 3 spells or attacks against the champion, it's not the same champion, just a champion in general, I'm assuming. Darkness Rise deals damage to nearby enemies and gives movement speed until Mordekaiser is out of combat. So nice little kind of AoE kind of proc effect. Okay, that's not too bad. Gives him a little bit of mobility because he is obviously, I'm assuming, still immobile. Q obliterates. Mordekaiser slams down his mace, dealing damage in an area or bonus damage to a single enemy. So they kind of retain his old Q, it seems like, to still have that kind of, you know, massive, just whoosh, big smackdown on somebody. But they also gave it a little bit of a new effect where it can also be AoE. So if you want to have more AoE potential in team fights, for instance, or if you want to have more single kind of target one-on-one dueling power, if you're like split pushing or something like that, which is, okay, that's pretty cool. W, Indestructible. The Evil Overlord absorbs 25% of damage taken and damage dealt. So he takes 25% less damage and deals 25% less damage, I'm assuming. Casting once generates a shield with his value. Mordekaiser can cast again to consume 50% of the shield for health. That is actually disgusting. Wait a minute. That's so tanky. That's actually really good for mid lane, because if you're facing like a mage, you know, like an Annie or like a Syndra, or, you know, just a typical bursty mid lane, or even like an assassin, Zed, Talon, whatever. This is amazing. This is like Aurelia's W almost in a way, just maybe even better, I would even say. So pretty interesting stuff there. Moving on to the E, Death's Grasp passive. Mordekaiser has 25% magic penetration, just flat out. Apparently it's not even scaling off of levels. It's just, yeah, level 1, boom, you get 25% magic penetration. Who even needs a voice staff? That's really good. That means voice staff might be a bad item on him, but flat penetration might actually be really good on Mordekaiser instead, which is interesting. The active effect is a deadly claw drags enemies towards him, dealing damage. It just kind of pulls them to you. Kind of probably similar to Swain-ish, I would say, but this is probably more exaggerated, more of an actual pull, while Swain kind of throws it out and just kind of CCs them and slowly kind of just barely pulls them in. So I'm assuming this is like a literal, like a blitzcrank or something like that, maybe, which is pretty sweet. But this is, that seems pretty good. Like these are some pretty high percent values on his abilities. Like, I have to admit, it's quite a bit actually. So let's see what that means. All right, moving on to his ultimate. This is probably hopefully the spiciest part. Realm of Death. Mordekaiser banishes a single enemy champion to the Death Realm for a 7-second 1v1. Wait, so I was right. Stealing a percent of their core stats. If he kills his target, he consumes their soul, keeping their partial stats until they respawn. Wait, so I was right. I remember when the champion roadmap came out, I'm like, yo, it'd be really cool if Mordekaiser's ultimate like literally banishes someone, you and someone else, into like your own world, and you just 1v1. I swear, that's literally what I said, and that's literally what's happening. That's really cool. That is like, I mean, you just throw a support in there, just smack them down real quick, and you're good to go. Like, this is like the most broken. This is Camille ultimate on steroids, essentially. So, geez, I mean, I want to see how it looks like in game. So let's take a look at this video. So Riot just released this video, boys and girls, kind of talking about, you know, the concept behind Mordekaiser, but it also has some gameplay footage of the new Mordekaiser as well. So
what about it do we want to keep?
Let's go ahead and check it out together.
I think for the players that main him, they still love Mordekaiser, right? Mordekaiser is iconic to the game.
He's like a walking fortress.
Unstoppable wall.
It's my first time watching it.
It's the fantasy of being this sort of Lord of Death.
That's the old Mordekaiser.
Visual standpoint and the gameplay, I think there's a disconnect. Like, when you see the splash, you kind of think you know what his playstyle is going to be.
And then in game, wait, am I a mage? Do I even use my mace? And so in the VGU, we really wanted to approach, how do we make sure that through line is clean all the way while keeping at least the feelings and the elements and the things that those old players did like about the champion and bringing them forward.
Mordekaiser is so cool. I love
when we
Mordekaiser
pick a
so
champion
much.
that we're ready to do a VGU on, we assemble a team that's a designer, a writer or narrative, and an artist that we call DNA. The DNA pod sits down and talks about like, how do we take the old pizza feet Mordekaiser and make him look like a modern champion, but still immediately recognizable as Mordekaiser.
We really wanted to focus
So those
on
are the concept
fact
arts.
that he is this indomitable warlord who's able to crush his enemies
that looks sick.
and capture their
Look
soul
at that
for his
armor.
own purposes.
Damn. That looks really
This
cool,
is sort of
actually.
an earlier stage. Just trying to figure out the shape of Mordekaiser.
Dude,
what
bosses, look at
was
this, look at
the-
this. Tell me that doesn't look amazing. Like, that looks so sick. Super edgy, but I love edgy. Man, the edgier the better, honestly.
motifs.
I want the edgiest champion in
And that's
existence.
where we came up with the idea of making it like architecture.
We looked at his entire kit very, very closely to see if there's anything we should bring forward, like the ultimate.
Mordekaiser's old ultimate was he would kind of put a debuff on a target, and if the target died while that debuff was on them, then Mordekaiser kind of captured their ghost.
He basically becomes a two-man army at that point. And though that is cool, it doesn't really fit with what
By the way, don't forget,
somebody with a big
there's no more
base
Mordekaiser
wants to
dragons
do.
anymore. That's gone, apparently.
Still takes away
No
from
longer a
the
thing.
thing that you want to do with him, which is to dominate.
Which I think is good.
With Mordekaiser, not have Mordekaiser command someone else to dominate.
We got reward in Slack today, and then go through a skin.
We did try to bring the ghost forward, and by try I mean we had it in for months and months. And at the end of the day, what we found was that the experience we were creating as a whole was sort of detrimented by having the ghost. So we ultimately decided that while it pained us greatly to remove it, that it would be better for the current kit to just not have that brought forward.
Oh my god.
to
Jesus. That's the E, right?
Well,
That's the
it
E.
pained us greatly to remove it.
What is
That it
that?
would be better for the current
I gotta
kit
see
to
that
just
again.
not have that brought forward.
Oh my god. So it's not even one person. I think it'll pull everyone inside this area right to Mordekaiser, and you just give him that big Q smackdown. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually.
Overall,
Look at that.
we wanted to
Just
deliver
brings it
on,
in. That
like,
looks
the
so
core
cool.
of what we believe Mordekaiser to have been all along, which is this like death
Oh.
archon.
In this particular
looks
case,
so
I think you
good.
could represent Lord of Death anywhere on the kit, but the obvious spot to attack from is the ultimate. So it's with the ultimate that we're like, how can we create this story in League of Legends in a matter of seconds?
So Mordekaiser's current background, Mordekaiser is interested in seizing the souls of the living to help him build the afterlife that he was denied. So he's constructing his own death realm.
In terms of gameplay,
That's the ultimate, I think.
Mordekaiser can
That's the
choose a
ultimate.
victim to bring with him to the death realm, and they are cut off from
Look
their
at this, look at
teammates completely.
So the death realm is just another interaction layer of the game. So I can't see
You know what that reminds me of?
anybody in the
That reminds me of in Diablo 3, the Skeleton King. The animation he does when he pulls him in there,
layer,
kind of
and
looks
no
like
one
that.
in the Summoner's Rift layer can see me in the Death Realm layer. So now all of the things about using my teammates, getting
Oh my
knockups
God,
or
that
heals
is
or stuns or
so
all that stuff
cool.
is gone. It's me versus Mordekaiser, Mordekaiser versus me.
Well, another thing we wanted to keep in mind too is the opponent side of it. We didn't want
Just
this
pulls them in,
spell
takes
to
their
just
stats.
feel like a death sentence. Oh, Mordekaiser casts this on me, I just actually die, and there's nothing I can do about it, which is why there's still a fight. There's really cool plays of flashing over a wall to get away from him, or if you are really crafty, kind of outsmart him, and having that goal can allow the enemies who get pulled into the death realm to still have a fighting chance against
That ultimate looks so cool.
I feel like with the update, this is a great opportunity for us to sort of reintroduce League of Legends players to Mordekaiser.
And for the players out there who really, really like old Mordekaiser, my hope is that we have considered those players as much as we can, and that we have brought forward the best version of the champion that
Pulls
we
him
can
in.
deliver
Oh, gives
to
him the Q
as many
smackdown.
players
That's like
as
the
want to
passive, I
play
think,
it,
right there?
Like feeling like they get to be this Death Lord juggernaut.
I don't know what his W looks
Power,
like, though.
Mace smashing their opponent, and then the ability with that ultimate to say to your
Pulls him in.
opponent, there is no
Oh,
escape from
God, that's
Mordekaiser.
scary, man. Dude, that looks okay. That passive, right? That's the passive, I think, right? After 3 spells or attacks, Darkness Rise deals damage to nearby enemies and gives movement speed until Mordekaiser is out of combat. Is that it? That's it, right? That has to be it. His E we saw, his ultimate we saw, his W I don't really know if we saw it or not. Maybe we did, but it didn't really have a very obvious tell as to okay, this is his W. So I don't know. Maybe I missed something. I'm not really sure. His Q was pretty obvious. I think he just literally smacks down with his mace like crazy. And I think the AoE, yeah, that was definitely his passive, where it does, after 3 spell casts, it deals damage to nearby enemies and gives movement speed until he's out of combat. So, until he's out of combat, does that mean that the AoE damage spell that we saw, like, here, this one, does that mean that that's also constantly like that until he's out of combat as well? Like, is that how that works? I think it was right here.
Not
the power of the mace smashing their opponent, and then the ability with that ultimate to say to your opponent, there is no escape from.
Players as much we be players feeling
this.
want any players
right?
as
that's his passive. Does that mean that it activates and the second it activates, you have it forever until the combat's done, like including the AoE? Because that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good, I have to say. So yeah, I don't know. There you guys have it. The Mordekaiser rework. Yeah, it's the abilities are revealed. There you guys have it. Let me know what you think about them down below. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited as well. Tomorrow, I will go ahead and release some gameplay of this bad boy on the PvE server. So I hope you guys are ready for that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about it down below. Share with your friends. Subscribe. All that good stuff. Hit the like button, guys, if you enjoyed the video. If you're excited. All that stuff. And I will see you for tomorrow's PvE gameplay. So until then, have a great day. Peace. Peace, peace, peace.